Victory, victory. I just got another victory. Opposition said they sick of me. We turn their future to history. They try to hit me, they missing me. Ooh, they in the way. They getting stepped on back in the day. We who they slept on. You see my place. It's never.
It was unexpected, right? To everybody outside of the Knicks fan base, it was unexpected. I had to hop on here. Because that is 2 victories over the Denver Nuggets this season. 2 victories. Okay? 2 victories over these Nuggets. This league leading Nuggets. Top of the Western Conference, came to the Mecca. And like everybody does when they go to the Mecca, you got to bow down. You got to bow down when you go to the Mecca. That's what happens. And the funny part about this phenomenal win, the most beautiful part about this win was I was lurking on the Ops website. Shout out to Big Task at Hand. Shout out to Big Task at Hand. You need to get in here. If you see this go live, Big Task at Hand, you need to get in here ASAP. I'm calling you to the front of the room. Because I thought I was going to go into the Ops' website and see their post-game response to the Knicks after they was talking all that smack. They were talking smack. At the beginning of the game, they didn't even respect the Knicks enough to afford an opportunity to talk about them before the game. They probably got on like an hour before the game started and just talked about what the Nuggets were going to do. And then they were throwing little cheap shots in about the Knicks. One person on the panel, and this is Denver. What is it? Denver DNVR Sports. Shout out to them. They do a great job. But before the game, the disrespect was present. It was just like, does anybody even get excited about the Garden? You know, why about the Garden? Nobody cares about that. Yo, it's like, you see us. You better talk to your fans. You better talk to the people who watch your channel. Because if they're listening to you to get some insight into the team they're going to play, they're going to be sadly mistaken. And I'm sure they were. Because you didn't prepare your people enough about what this team they will be facing has done this season. If the Denver Nuggets fans were fair weather fans, Denver sports, you didn't prepare those followers enough about, I'm sure they're coming back disappointed and disrespected. And I hope they're in your comment section calling you out, because you didn't let them know realistically what the Denver Nuggets were walking into when they went into the Mecca. Today's Knicks are not yesterday's Knicks. Now that's 2 losses you're going to have to hold. One from the beginning of the season, and you called it flukish. Oh, Jokic. Y'all some elitists out there with Jokic. Jokic is a basketball guard. G-A-H-D. He's a guard. We recognize that. But y'all feeling yourselves too much with that trash bench. You're feeling yourself too much, and you know your bench is trash. You know your bench is trash. So we going to talk about it today. But my guy, Big Task at Hand, I went over to the Ops right after the game. Salute, Gideon, salute. I went to the Ops right after the game. And I said, let me hear what they got to say. Let me see if they even bring up the Knicks. And they spent about 20 minutes just talking about, we didn't have the energy. Oh, this person was a little bit off. Oh, they don't, Mike Malone doesn't play his players enough. All of that. Before finally getting to mentioning the Knicks' name. And the only reason they mentioned the New York Knicks by name was because there was Knicks fans in their chat going off. Big Task at Hand was representing. Big Task at Hand was in the building saying, put some respect on these Knicks' name. Put some respect on their name. Now I done jump right into this. Let me give a shout out and go through my intro. What's going on, everybody? I want to welcome you to Sheer Brilliance Knicks. I'm your host. My name is Sheer, and you already know we are first to many and second to no one when covering the news, team moves, and who's who connected to our New York Knicks. If you're here for the first time, I want to welcome you. I want to ask, click that subscribe button. Hit that like button if you like what you hear so that you're aware of any time we go live or we drop any new content. If you are returning, my SB community, it's time to celebrate today. You know I appreciate you. We're going to talk our talk once again today. 3 straight. We're going to talk our talk once again today. You know we roll deep, so let's go. All right? Now, you can't have those people who support you. And on this type of platform, if you don't expect to have the people who disagree with you. So I say this, if you in the chat section and you the ops, we see you. We know you're going to be watching the video later, all in the comment section. And guess what? You rocking with the best, baby. And friend or foe, we want the smoke. So bring that, engage, leave a comment. If you're a fan of NBA basketball, then you are welcome here. But I really wanted to hop on and just give some love to the squad. Once again, not about the ops, it's about our team. The return of Jalen Brunson today was a good sight to see. He didn't look like he was laboring at all. He came in and he did what a leader does. He set the tone for the team at the beginning of the game. Every move that this man made from the point he touched the ball is a reminder, just in case you forgot. If you forget because we have a break, or if you forget because he's out on injury, he reminds you this man is going to start being spoken about in the same breath as superstars. Jalen Brunson is a superstar. I made a video in the summertime asking who will Tibbs make a star this season. Brunson was already a star. He's about to ascend to superstar level. And I think it's going to happen in the playoffs because those shots he was hitting, once again, are usually shots that the opponents will hit that would break our spirit as Knicks fans in the past. So he came out there focused and locked in. Focused and locked in. They couldn't do nothing with him. We had them reeling on their heels. They couldn't do nothing with Jalen Brunson. That's exactly what we needed. In this game, which was an early game, a midday game in Midtown against the number one team with the highest record in the league, the Denver Nuggets, we needed our energy up. We needed to get off to a strong start. That's what leaders do. And that's what Jalen Brunson did. He set the tone. He let the Denver Nuggets know it's not going to be an easy win for you. I don't know what you heard, but it's what I'm telling you. And he hit 16 points in the first quarter to let them know it's not going to be that type of party today. So I was loving what I was seeing. This was a complete team victory across the board. I don't have the stats in front of me. Across the board, you can see the contributions. I reflect on this game, and I'm thinking of R.J. Barrett showing up at the right time of the season. I think sometimes we look at R.J. and we compare him and we want him to step it up to another stratosphere. But maybe that's not what we need for this team. What we need for this team is for you to show up in important spots. And he did that, drive into the basket. They couldn't stop him. Could not stop that man when he decided to take the ball to the basket. Couldn't stop him. And I'm proud of Mitchell Robinson. Come on, man. This is how you show up. When you show up and you play the game knowing that you're a professional, even though there's some things taking place off of the floor. Hope everything goes well for you, big fella. You are one of 2 of my favorite players that you see on the screen, Mitchell Robinson and Jalen Brunson. We know you're human, but you came and you did your job as you always do. You had a couple of down games, a few games before. That's because your point guard wasn't there. You talked about not getting the basketball. That's because your point guard wasn't there. but you play big. Now, Jokic usually cooks the league, and historically, you've been barbecue chicken. So we're not gonna deny that. What up, chat? What up, chat? I think we were digging for gold. We found nuggets. We found nuggets today. So shout out to you, Gideon. Let me hit that chat up real quick before I keep going on. This is a freestyle today as we dance on these Denver Nuggets. Dance on these Denver Nuggets. Continue to put the league on notice. Shout out to you, Gideon. Says salute to everyone. Let's go, my guy, BKNY. Sweep. That's what I'm talking about. Let's have a long memory. We beat these Nuggets earlier in the season, and we beat them today. Funny story if you wasn't here earlier. I was over in the Ops. I was on the Ops podcast, refusing to talk about us until some of the Knicks fans start invading the chat. And we weren't disrespectful. We was just saying put some respect on our name. And they tried to take shots. They were talking about Knicks fans that was showing up at the bar out in Denver. They tried to clown Knicks fans. They tried to clown Knicks fans and say, oh, the New York Knicks fans, they're a little bit different. You know how you go to a basketball game and you put on your jersey your favorite player? Well, those New Yorkers, when they're going to a game, if they're going to see their favorite player, they put on a whole outfit. They got the shoes on, they got the shirt and the pants matching and the hat, and as if we clowning. Listen, don't get upset because New York got swag. Don't get upset because you ain't got no swag. And then he was just like, if the game is at 8:00 at night, the Knicks fans is wearing that outfit at 10 a.m. in the morning. Now they got a point. Cats will be working a corporate job and go into the office with blue and orange Air Force Ones. You'll throw one if you agree. But they thought they were doing something by, it's so funny. And this is why I tell anybody, listen, if you follow my channel, if it is a game day, try to find at least, don't go to Locked On whatever, because they hire fans and it's not the same thing. Try to go to the opposing team's fan podcast because it's so comical, but it's also real because it tells you how they feel about us coming in as an opponent. That's where I get a lot of the jewels from. When I'm like, listen, if we know, because we are going to think we strike fear in everybody's heart, but it have to come from the fans' mouth. So I go over there, man, and Denver was funny. Their biggest thing was trying to ignore talking about us. It's all about the Nuggets. But when they did that, I was able to see what their team's weaknesses were. They feel like Mike Malone is Tom Thibodeau West, because they're always just like either he's playing players too much or he's not playing players enough. That was the exact comments earlier today. And on the other side, they're talking about their bench is terrible. So when they said that, I already knew. I was just like, oh. So we're just going to pull them out to deep water and drown them. Because the one thing that we know we have is a deep bench. So I'm like, as long as we don't let Jokic control the momentum of the game, we got this joint in the bag. And when we went down big time, Knicks fans, tell me at this point, did any of you have any concern that we wouldn't come back? Did any of you have any concern that we wouldn't come back? This team is different this year. Different. We different this year. No concern. None. So it was look, I was listening and I'm like, all right, I'll be back. Y'all talking that talk now at the beginning of the show. I'm coming back to your show. I'm coming back to your podcast at the end of the show and see what your energy is like. And that energy was different. I love that. I love taking the air out of the sails of the fans. It's our time. It is our time to do that. And they had the nerve to say something along the lines. I know this is all about the Ops podcast, But they had the nerve to say something along the lines of, well, our team usually plays up and down to its competition. Come on, B. Come on, B. Come on, B. Now, if you see us in the finals, is that going to be the same tune? You should have played up, but you didn't expect the full team that you was going to have to face. Yo, Josh Hart is an MVP. Like, what's this? What is this cat? This cat is all over the place. And he's rocking number 3. Talk to me. That man got the John Starks energy. Talk to me. This was a great win. This was a great win. Don't care what anybody tells you. If you watch the highlight shows and they started talking about Denver struggles, bump that. They got the number 1 team in the West. This was a great win. A great win for your New York Knicks. So let me hear you talk about it. Yo, shout out to my guy, Where's Ashley Inc. 1 says, salute sheer. This game was sheer brilliance. Sheer brilliance. 100%. Shout out to you, my guy. Peace, sheer Blaze. 1BX. Let's go, Blaze. How you feel about this win? Come on, man. I got my usual suspects in here. I'm with it. Let's go. Salute, Pudge. Nice. Wellflower POP. Let's get it. My guy, Well, all the way in Romania. Shout out to Well. Let's get it. Great win today. Pudge Nice says this was a great win. 42-42. How many of those things y'all going to get? Throw your predictions in the chat. How far you think we riding this thing out for the regular season? Do we get 45? Do we get 50? Talk to me. Because Tim's got this team believing in something. Throw your predictions in the chat. What's the number? Wellflower says mob deep this year. Absolutely. We are mob deep. A lot more than a lot of other teams, but then we put in terror in the hearts of those teams. So we're the terror squad as well. Let's go. I'm talking my talk today. I'm talking my talk today. P Styles, welcome to the channel, my brother. Big win, massive win. Massive. It's a massive win. Shout out to you. Continuing to put this league on notice. Continuing. Let's go. 50 burger. I'm with you. I believe it. I believe we can get to that 5-0. I believe it. Anybody else? What are we looking at? My guy Wes says 48 minimum. I'm with you. 50 is the number that I'm looking at. I love the way this team played today. Love the way the team played. Let me see if I could do something. Listen, I'm gonna put the link in the chat. See if I could do this real quick. Y'all want to hop on? Get on here and talk your talk. Get on here and talk your talk. It felt good. Middle of the day. In the Garden where there was no other options to watch but us. I was so happy it wasn't on national TV. I was so happy that Clyde and Breen covered the game. Tremendously happy. So they all had to watch. They all had to watch us hand the Denver Nuggets a loss in Madison Square Garden. All of them had to kiss the ring today. So shout out to you, Wiz. My guy Wellflower says 50. Yeah, see, we all on the same page. We are all on the same page. Wellflower says, let's get this. Listen, we're doing something, man. We're doing something. We're no longer asking for respect. We taking it. We're no longer asking for respect. We take it, and we forcing you to see us. All the analysts, all the podcasters, I respect the fact that they do their research if they got a podcast. So it's not really them. They know. But anybody who's watching their channels for the real, those other fans of other teams, the casuals, they are the ones that are going to have to understand and recognize us. Everybody else knows we here. We said we were here 2 years ago. We're here right now. Everybody else is being awoken to the fact that the Kraken has been unleashed in New York City. Will Flower says 8-2 down the stretch. I believe it. It's a focus. And I'm telling you, Will Flower, I believe it as well. We might be, listen, isn't it March Madness? So it's okay for us to have a little bit of madness, right? Yeah. I'm looking to be the East representative in the NBA Finals. Yeah, I said it. And I said it. I've been drinking a little bit today. I got some Minute Maid. P Styles, my guy says, when last we beat Denver both times in the season, I don't even know. But it's happened this year. Very early on, there were signs that the New York Knicks are going to be a different team than last year. Very early on. And I think they thought that was a fluke. For whatever the conditions surrounded that team and that game at that time, they thought it was a fluke. Ain't no fluke. The Knicks play a good brand of basketball that travels. They play it at home. This is how you know the league is in trouble. The biggest obstacle that this New York Knicks team had was Madison Square Garden. The biggest obstacle that this New York team had was playing in front of the bright lights and the rabid fans of the New York Knicks in Madison Square Garden, in the Mecca, being comfortable with the weight of that jersey. And the key to it was getting players who were comfortable with the heat and the weight of that jersey. The first move that they did with that was getting Isaiah Hartenstein. Let's give a shout out to iHeart. Man, continues to pull down plus 10 boards. Plus 10 boards in his out. Come on, man. From our bench. And then we go out and get Jalen Brunson, a transcendent player, a player whose stock is rising. 2 years before his prime. To help us realize how to win. Y'all see how this season progressed. At the beginning of the season, we had new pieces. And the cries for Tom Thibodeau Lewis's job were loud. But we had new pieces that were figuring each other out, forming relationships, developing trust, and getting familiar with this new style of play that they would have now that they have a point guard. And then we were losing close games. We were learning how to win. That was the next step. In the middle of the season, we were losing these close games, and everybody was saying, Tom Thibodeau can't get this team over the top. We don't know what it is. They were learning how to win. And then the next step is, how do you win consistently in the NBA? And usually this process takes 2 to 3 years. And the Knicks fast-tracked it. They put that thing in a microwave and they sped it up over a season, where now we're getting those big wins over the top teams in the NBA. The New York Knicks have a shot at something this year. And then if the season happens the way our dreams would have it, then we're going to have to stop calling R.J. Rowan. We're going to have to stop calling him out of his name. You need to call that man a prophet, because he said, I think the Knicks are going to shock the world. And if his prophecy comes true, this is truly going to be the Mecca. And everybody's going to have to come and bow down. And I'm being blasphemous, I know. So I'm excited. If you can't tell, I'm excited about the win. All right? Yo, shout out to you all. Listen, that link is up in there. You know, if y'all want, I don't know if it's a live link. If y'all could click on it. If there's any problems with it, let me know. Y'all want to join me on here, talk your talk? Join me on here, talk your talk. Get some time, get some shine. This ain't Knicks Deli, but we live. Bars. That wasn't even New York bars. Will Flower says, I'm impressed that we won at home. 100%. Listen, the level of confidence that we're starting to show with winning at home is palpable. It's there. It's there. Opponents no longer have that excuse. They no longer have that sense that, you know what, we're going to put pressure on them when they're down 10. You remember that Gilbert Arenas quote that's floating around? I put it in the short early in the season. And he said, as an opposing team coming into Madison Square Garden, all we have to do is get the game down by 10, close to the fourth quarter, and we wait for the Madison Square Garden to turn on their team, and then the team buckles. He called that. He put that out there. If you're from old school, you know that's always been true. It's always been the case. You can't get mad at him. He's spitting facts. But the moment that they realize you got to get the team, you got to get the fans on your side so this can truly be a home court advantage, it was over because they're road warriors. They take care of business on the road. So it's over for you when we figure out how to win in front of the best fans in the world. Are you kidding me? Come on, man. So, yeah, it was truly impressive that we won at home. And there was this one Denver fan. He was in the front row. He was in the front. Every time Denver scored, he jumped up. He was in the front row seat, so he's happy. He was a young guy. He probably had to be about 17, 18 or whatever. But it was a little bit of a light flex that he's on the floor seats at the Garden. So every time we went down, he's jumping up. He's gyrating. He's high-fiving Jeff Green after the dunk. I was looking for him. I had the receipts. I was all over. I was looking for him after the game. Where you at now, buddy? Sit down. Take this thing back to Colorado with you. Take it back to Colorado with you. And say what's up to Coach Prime for me. Love that. I love when they got to eat their words. I love it. Let's keep feeding them. Let's keep feeding them. I love when they got to eat their words. Wellflower says, the only way to get respect is to take it, just like rebounds. And we taking them both. All right, shout out to P Styles, my guy. Says we here and we back, family. You 100% right. Talk your talk. Talk your talk. They gotta see us. Willflower says, anybody still wish we drafted Zion? If he was healthy, I ain't even gonna hold you. If he was healthy, I ain't even gonna hold you. Zion would be electric in the Garden. But it was so funny. You remember when they was talking about Zion might come to the Knicks, and it was Enes Kanter that was like, I'm not really impressed with Zion. Zion is Julius Randle with hops. Right now, Zion wishes he was Julius Randle with health. Okay. So I'm glad, you know what? And this is why you got to be proud of Julius as well, right? This is why you got to be proud of Julius as well, because there were a couple of moments in this game where I'm like, damn, bro, come on, bro. The intelligence is in there. Why are you going to spin into, y'all know what I'm talking, y'all know the exact moment it was. It was two spins he had in this game when he spun into the double team and he threw the ball to the referee. And the other one was when he got fouled, so the foul bailed him out. But he went for that spinning and sending move that he has that we banned from Madison Square Garden. He snuck it in past James Dolan facial detection system. Okay, he had to snuck it in past the detection system. All right, so I need to call up James Dolan. Oh, Jimmy need to take care of that so that goddamn spin move doesn't creep back into the Garden. Okay, but there'll be moments where you look at it and you question his just game IQ. But goddamn it, Julius is a special player. We have a special player in Julius. Aaron Gordon is in the slouch. Does he have defensive deficiencies? Absolutely. Is he an offensive juggernaut? Absolutely not. But he's athletic. He has a solid body like Julius has as well. And he has to be contended with. And Julius didn't have a huge game, but Julius does his thing. It's rarely a mismatch for Jules anymore. Julius is giving his opposing player the work as well, just as much, if not more. We have a special player. We have special players. We have special players. I love this. Is so crazy. You got a good team when you don't mind going to the bench. When you look forward to bringing in the players off the bench. I look forward to bringing in IQ. I look forward to bringing in Josh Hart. I look forward to Hartenstein because I don't feel there's a drop-off. It's a different style and contribution they bring to the game. Man. So shout out to you, Wellflower. P-Style says this team is a better version on 2020, 2021. Upgrades all around. Bro, I am going to screenshot that and I'm going to put it on my Twitter. So give me one moment. Bong. Listen, if you're on Twitter, SB Knicks, follow me on there so we can talk about these Knicks here on Twitter as well. Yo, P Styles, man, you spit none but 100% facts. This team is a better version on 2020, 2021 with upgrades all around. This is why New York looks like New York and Atlanta looks like Atlanta. Because ultimately what the Knicks did was they said, we got something with Julius. And he still has room to grow. And he's a year and a half away from his prime. Or 2 years at that time. Away from his prime. Let's find a way to build around this kid. Build his confidence and build around him. That's exactly what they did. They went and corrected all of the shortcomings that was exposed in that playoff run or that playoff win first round series that we had 2 years ago. So you spot on with that, P Styles. Quote of the day so far. Will Flower says, I wouldn't trade RJ for both Zion and Ja. I agree with you. We're going to move on real quick. I agree with you, Will. Listen, RJ is ours. And honestly speaking, I mean, we joke about it, but it takes a special player to be able to control themselves in New York. There's a lot to be said about a player who can keep their concentration and focus locked in when you're playing in New York City. In Madison Square Garden, I'm not even counting Brooklyn. You can go be a hermit when you're in Brooklyn. Your stories don't come out in Brooklyn. You know when the city destroys your team if you simply look at the Isaiah Thomas years. Because if you listen to the Knucklehead podcast with Quentin Richardson and Darius Miles, Quentin Richardson always refers to it. The time that they were in New York, they stayed in the clubs. They stayed in the city. They would come into the games sometimes a little bit hungover. Joakim Noah said it once he robbed the bag from us and we finally paid him 10 years after his career was over. He finally said it. He was just like, yo, listen, I couldn't handle New York. Even though he's from New York, he talked about being an NBA athlete in New York City. He couldn't do it. He was partying too much. So it takes a special player in New York to be able to play in New York, stay focused, and to stay locked in on a plan and be committed to winning. Committed to winning and committed to winning a championship here. I'm so proud. Listen, I love, if you go to my, check out my YouTube, the community post, found a phenomenal picture on Reddit. All right, with our young core there when they was young as cartoon image. I love the fact that we're doing this with our young players who are not young anymore, like they're young veterans. I love that, man. There's a lot to be said about it. Shout out to you, Wellflower. P Styles also comments and says, it's not the home wins, blood. It's we win on the road. That's how you win playoff rounds. Bro, I agree, but you got to protect your home court as well, especially if we win in the tiebreakers. We can win on the road. We showed that all season. We probably play our best basketball on the road. And I know that you're in agreement with what I'm saying. I know we're saying the same thing. But once again, when I'm ready for the New York Knicks to go into opposing arenas and take the air out of the crowd. I'm ready for it. I can't wait for that. And I'm loving. Watch these shows. Watch First Take. Watch Get Up, or whatever. Get Up in the morning on FS1. Watch all those shows. Watch ESPN. And listen to their predictions about Knicks getting eliminated in the first round or probably making it to the second round, but they'll get eliminated there. And enjoy the playoffs. Watch, pay attention, and just enjoy. Enjoy. Because this team has this feel like we out here to prove the world wrong. And I'm loving every moment of it. Will Flower says availability over ability. 100%. Hartenstein, Julius Randle on to be two of probably about 7 players in the NBA who will be able to play all 82 games this year. That's a throwback to the 90s, bro. That's insane. So I'm knocking on wood, continuous health for those gentlemen, and that we finish strong. We finished this season strong. Wellflower also says Zion will have to change his game or he will not last. Injuries, injuries, injuries. Love his talent, but the guy gets hurt. You were spot on. Zion, honestly, this is my theory. When Zion was injured, he really wanted to go to Madison Square Garden. I think Zion Williamson truly had his heart set on Madison Square Garden. And the fact that his closest friend, one of his closest friends, has an opportunity to play in Madison Square Garden, and for him to see how he's performing here, he saw those seasons where we were losing, but his team wasn't doing as good itself. And then there was that season where he got injured, but his team made a run. We're talking about Zion Williamson if you're just joining us. And then the Pelicans made that little run, and it was just like, man, once we get Zion back, throw him in the mix, it's going to be crazy. We're going to be out here in these streets. Well, then once again, injuries happened and things didn't turn out the way they were supposed to. Team didn't have that same momentum as they had the year prior. And I think once again, he's still looking around. His health and his weight is a major issue. But I think his health and his weight is the way it is because he's not happy out there. That's why I'm like, listen, Julius is putting a stop on all that Zion talk. Because if Julius would continue to do the tantrums, or if he would have come out and say, speak against the team or whatever and become a headache case, I can tell you this much, they'll have New Orleans on the phone. Because if Zion is with, imagine this, you will have Duke and Villanova on the same team. You'll have Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson, RJ Barrett, and Zion Williamson. Come on, man. That man will stay in shape because he has his brother on the team. And he'll be motivated because he's playing in front of, the best fans in the world. That's my theory on it. But I think his weight continues to be that way because he's not completely happy with where he is. He's going to be a dummy and not sign that rookie extension. Of course, he's going to sign that and say, I want to be here. I really love being in this area. He's going to say all the good things as a businessman as he should. But I think that's what it is. I just don't think he's happy. I'm telling you this much. First day free agency comes, he's anytime somebody is hitting free agency, New York is an option now. We're 100% an option now. P Style says the best ability is availability, 100%. All right, yo, folks. So I don't want to be on here for too long. I want to just hop on here, celebrate our squad. But I also want to jump over to, let's hop on to Reddit real quick. Let's see what Reddit talking about right now. Because I always like to see what other Knicks fans are saying. And Reddit is funny. If you don't know New York Knicks Reddit, I'm telling you now, check it out. It's where I get a lot of the funny little cartoon photos of our team. Some pretty good, interesting takes on there as well. So let me see if I could pull that up real quick and we could talk together and take a look together at what's going on Reddit. So I'm sharing my screen right now. Let me see if I can figure this thing out. Let me get y'all a better view. There we go. I'm getting surgical with the technology, god dang it. I'm getting surgical with it. Look, I'm surgical. All right, so we got, so Mitchell Robinson with the game-clinching alley-oop. Let's fucking go. Yeah, the vibes. Let's go, Mitch. Yo, shout out to Mitch, man. Yo, throw your ones in the chat for Mitch. All of these dudes in the NBA, man, John Moran included, these are just young guys with money now trying to figure life out in front of the world. You know what I mean? So we got to get him some grace, man. So shout out to Mitch Robinson. Nuggets just got season swept by the mid-3. Yeah, y'all saw they tried to disrespect us and call us the mid-3. Come on now. You're going to have to see these New York Knicks jerseys. All right, we got a commercial there. Couple more. The New York Knicks are guaranteed to finish the season over 500 mid-3. My ass, let's go. Let's go. Number one in the West goes down at the Mecca. Let's get it. MFW, the Knicks win a matinee against Denver. Yay! Let's get it, Monica. Monica is bad though. Return of the King. This game is done, bro. It was so big for that man to come back. I'm going to be doing a Knicks Deli tomorrow, so this will be a little bit more organized. We're going to talk about who's the bacon, egg, and cheese of the game, who is the chopped cheese, who is the quarter water. If y'all have never checked out my Knicks Deli edition, it's what we do after victories, every victory. Check me out tomorrow. All right. So this user says, what are we doing? All right. Jokic misses the three-pointer. Brunson lobs it up to Mitchell Robinson in transition, and MSG explodes as the Knicks go up 6 with 24 seconds left in the game. Let's just watch this real quick and relive this moment. Why they didn't foul here, I don't know. And it was just so appropriate that it was Mitch. That's everybody giving him a hug, man. And look, the Madison Square Garden is we practicing for the for the playoffs. Watch how it explodes. Yo, no better arena in this league than Madison Square Garden. Yo, and this user says, raise the banner. 2022-2023, guaranteed to have more wins than losses and best record since 2013. Yo, shout out to that guy as well. And this is the last. Let me see. Jalen Brunson's available to play today. Yeah, that's the last one I'll cover right now. But needless to say, great win. Great win, guys. It was fun. It's fun watching our squad. They play good basketball. And even when they make mistakes, they make up for those mistakes. They have active hands from the belt line down, where they're constantly looking. Once you bring the ball down to your chest, it's a wrap. You can't do that against the Knicks. They have active hands. They're defensive. They play the passing lanes. They play for each other. I love it. I watch the team. It feels good to watch the team and don't see a hesitation. You don't see a hitch when they're swinging the ball around. Occasionally you might, but it's not a hitch where you feel as if they don't want to pass the ball to somebody. It's probably more so that they didn't see them. The Knicks play a great brand of basketball, man. They play a great brand of basketball. I'm excited for the playoffs, but I don't want to look past the playoffs. I want to finish this season strong. So whoever's next on the schedule, let's focus on them. Who's next on our schedule? Anybody know who we got next? Let me know in the comment section. Let me go down here. P Style says, what I love about our team is it's mostly our draft picks and our 9 out of 10 man rotation blockiness, the blockness monster, Broadway, IQ, Obi, Grimes, Deuce, and our Skyrim flyer. 100%. They ain't got nothing to say about us. Yo, the New York Knicks, and you know what? You got to give a shout out. We got to give a shout out to Steve Mills. We got to give a shout out to Steve Mills because he put this thing in motion. Once KP left, he said, all right, this is, we got to stop this. He said, we can't skip steps. We got to be creative in how we find talent. We got to scout our asses off. We got to draft well, and we got to figure out how to develop. And then when he got the new regime in here, shout out to Dolan. Somebody had to come in and tell Dolan, listen, bro, your PR and this Oakley thing that just happened, you got to disappear. You got to get the hell up out of the spotlight. And to his credit, one time this season, he did an interview. He's at his games now, but he's quiet and you don't say nothing. And he started changing that image where he fall to the back, the team was pushed to the front. Next was keeping Julius Randle. And that was a big fight because it was Knicks fans versus versus Julius Randle. And they had to find a successful way of bringing us back together. Like it's so like the way this whole thing unfolded, we have to win the championship. Because when you win championships, then they chronicle all of the obstacles that you had to overcome on your journey. And the New York Knicks is a fairy tale story waiting to happen. If we get to the Eastern Conference Finals and we get to the finals, anything can happen in the finals, especially if you have health. Man, it's a story waiting to be told. It's a story that's waiting to be told. And all of them will be our players. Bringing Brunson in, will be a key acquisition. Hartenstein, a key acquisition, but our core, just like the New York Yankees of the 90s, we got a core 4 players that are here, and we kept them. Even though people question us, even though we may have questioned ourselves. I don't think we would have had the same level of success if Donovan Mitchell was here. I don't. Because that means some people off our bench would be gone. And then that all of the defensive concerns would have been there as well. Because you have 2 6'1" guards, in our lineup. Where would the rebounding be? The revelation is that you have a 2 in Grimes and IQ at the 1 or the 2, and then Josh Hart coming in. All 3 have the ability to play defense. Things happen the way they're supposed to happen. Things happen for a reason. All right, my guy Ruggs, let's go. Welcome. What's up? What's up, Ruggs? SB, what up, kid? Excellent win for Tibbs and the boys. 100%, man. We've been in here just gloating. Ruggs says, chat, what up? Chat, what up? Wellflower says, balling out. Let's do this. Eastern Conference Finals, baby. I want more. Wellflower says, greetings from Romania. Yes, shout out to Wellflower, who is coming in all the way from Romania. Got fans out there. Rugg says, we got the T-Wolves next. Possibly no Anthony Edwards. Yeah, shout out to Anthony Edwards. 100% hopeful that it looked like he had a very scary ankle injury. So I don't know how bad it is. I'm just hoping that it was maybe a high ankle sprain. But shout out and well wishes that he gets better fast, because that man is a talent. He's going to be a superstar in this league. He's just different. But it'll be better if we didn't have him in the lineup if we played when we played him. So, looking forward to that game. All right. Ruggs also said Edwards sprained his ankle bad last night. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, I saw that. So there it is, guys. I mean, what is it more to say? What is it more to say? It was a big win. I don't think it was played up as much as possible. I love the fact that it was on MSG. National TV could have taken an opportunity to put us on prime time, but they didn't for whatever reason. But I'm glad it was not, because I had a chance to just watch it regular on League Pass. I'm in Indiana, if y'all don't know, and I'll be going to the April 5th game with my brother. I'm moving back to the Bronx, but I'll be watching the game in person here April 5th when my brother comes out here to help me move my stuff back. So listen, we're going to be in the house there too. I probably try to attend every game when it comes out to Indiana, man. So I'm looking forward to that. Rugg says, LOL, absolutely. Yo, shout out to Craig McQueen. Shout out to you. Welcome, my guy. Says, what's up, bro? Great win today. Absolutely great win. Yo, man, I love our players, bro. I love our squad. I love this team, man. And it's so funny because right now everybody's talking about, I had a conversation with my cousin the other day. He was telling me, he said, shit, bro, you gotta, we're not going to be able to keep Obi. He's just too good. And I'm like, yo, I know, man, but, man, I'm like, I don't want to limit Obi. And I understand what people are saying, man, but these brothers are forever Knicks, man. We saw these guys get drafted. We watched them develop, the ups and downs. I don't know, man. It's like a soap opera, bro. I love this whole team, bro. Okay? Ain't no pauses. You know we family here. I flipping love this team, man. I love the fact that Rose didn't take the opportunity to request a trade to another team so he can get more playing time. He said, I don't want to go. I'll stay, and if needed, I'll stay ready. But if needed and called upon, I'll be ready. But if I got to sit on this bench and mentor, I'm staying. And this is why it's so funny. I put the little shorts on there about Dame Lillard. So Dame Lillard went on JJ Redick's podcast, and he said the league is different. He said the players today feel entitled. They feel entitled today. You know, like they get this high draft pick, and they expect you to give them all the minutes and all the playing time, and that you acquiesce to whatever their demands are. He said that's the thing that's different. And you know what? That don't fall on nobody else but the OGs in the league. That's LeBron's fault. This generation and it's LeBron's fault. That's the standard that's set. I'm sorry. That's exactly what it is. But what I love was what he talked about. He said, man, when I came into the league, he said they weren't even playing. But I had OGs on the bench telling me how to be a man and how to grow up, having money, being in this league with this schedule and just growing into my NBA self. He was just like, yo, they were the most important thing to me in this NBA. And he started talking about having a culture and all these things that make for a good organization. And God damn it, the New York Knicks is doing all of that. I was sitting there with a checklist and everything he said, I checked off. Bong, veterans. Bong, culture. Bong, play for each other. Bong, care about the game. All these things that he was saying, that's why I said every one of his words in that statement, he validated what the New York Knicks were doing. He 100% validated what we were doing. He validated every step that we took this season. And as Knicks fans, we are knowledgeable, but as Knicks fans, sometimes we got to shut the fuck up. Sometimes we just got to shut the French toast up. Because when the front office decided to make moves and make decisions and then retract their accessibility and let things play out, no matter how hot and heavy and heated the fan response was, no matter how hot, heavy, and heated and accusatory the media was, with Stephen A. Puppet trying to be the voice of all the major media outlets who express an anger about not having access to our players on the team as they try to grow and come together and keep the negativity out. Because if you had them in the locker rooms, they'd been in there planting seeds of division. The New York Knicks organization surgically carried out this season, and this is where we are as a result of it. So sometimes we don't know what's best for the organization. We just got to shut the hell up and let them work. Because this is part of the outcome. Good God, I can't wait till the playoffs. Playoffs. Yo, not the play-in. Playoffs. Not a game. Not a game. We talking playoffs. So shout out to you, P Styles. Says, and we beat them with Jokic. No excuse this time. No excuse this time. 100%. Rugg says, Knicks gave me a nice B-Day gift. Oh, listen. Yo, throw your ones in the chat for Ruggs. Happy birthday, my brother. Happy birthday, my brother. Yeah, support. Throw your ones in the chat. We got 10 people on. Throw 10 ones in the chat. Wish that man, or 9 if Ruggs is in there himself. Throw 9 ones in the chat. Wish that man a happy birthday. My guy, Allah Wise, where you been? What's up, guy? He says, peace, share, meet you when you touch down in the town. Great win today, 100%. We will connect because I need to get into some games at the Garden, or we will hit one of those bars and watch it. Although I don't really drink, but we're going to make that happen. Craig McQueen says, I think the Knicks going to the finals this year. Listen, bro, they think we delusional. They think that we're delusional. The main media outlets, they think that we're delusional. but we're not. And we got something for them. We're going to be laughing to the bank. We're going to show up in our blue and orange Air Force Ones with the jeans. And we're going to have the throwbacks on. And just don't wear those ugly-ass green jerseys. I hate those jerseys. And I was kind of halfway feeling the orange jerseys until Carmelo would always wear this random-ass green with the – and I'm like, what do you look like a Christmas ornament. Why are you wearing that? And I don't know if that's what he was going for. Listen, low-key, everybody tried to paint – and everybody tried to paint Carmelo Anthony as a fashion icon. Yo, he was failing. He had some moments where he was failing, bro. So shout out. Yo, I see you, G-Money. Once again, I got the link in the comment section. If you want to hop on and talk about your Knicks, we will. But let me bring you into the chat real quick. We're going to be joined by G-Money. G-Money, salute. Salute to you, my brother.
Salute. What's shaking and baking, man? How you doing?
Listen, man, our Knicks are shaking and baking, man. What you got to say? What we talking?
Man, we had some delicious McNuggets with barbecue sauce and honey mustard. The defense in the fourth quarter, magnificent. Not holding Nuggets to 19 points in the fourth. I thought we did a great job containing the drive from Denver, being physical with Joker. I thought we shut him. I can't say shut him down, but I thought we contained him good enough down the stretch. Also, I thought that we were more attached to Jamal Murray in the fourth quarter compared to the first three. Salute, Wiz, what's going on? And also, the Brunson burner was blazing hot in the first quarter. And then also, I thought Randall was clutch in the fourth quarter. I thought Mitchell Robinson was balling in the second half, grabbing boards, containing Joker off, in the interior, getting offensive rebounds. And Josh Hart, bro, he's captured my heart, man. Bro. I mean, getting to the rack at well, he is a junkyard dog. Bro. Hitting big-time threes. Bro, Josh Hart's been great. And Isaiah Hartenstein, another good pickup. Underrated pass as a big, can hit the corner three, can finish at the rim. He plays smart to this game. And even RJ Barrett, bro, was balling. A Barrett barrage in the second half, getting to the hoop, using his stride, his size, his strength, playing good defense. This New York team is scary right now, and they're gonna be frightening for a lot of teams in the playoffs.
Man, well said. Let's welcome and salute Wiz. Bring Wiz to the chat.
Salute, Wiz.
What's going on, Wiz, to the panel?
What's up, sir?
My guy, what are your thoughts?
Great to be on, man. Yo, I'm glad you jumped on because I've been bursting, man. This was the game. I was like, I could not believe how well they played. Totally impressed. I gotta give Tim some credit, man. I'm not a Tim's fan, but today he made some decent moves.
He did.
And I was actually a little anxious about him not bringing in Deuce a little early when IQ was off. I'm thinking, IQ's obviously, it's like 0 for 4, 0 for 5 or something. I'm like, oh man, why just bring in Deuce? Have a little spark plug, a little fire. But he just stuck to his guns because his 9-man rotation. And I was impressed, man. I mean, our free throw shooting, what I thought was huge. Josh Hart is a monster. Wow. I'm like, man, we got to pay that man. But I love your takes, Shiz. I'll just listen to your takes, and I'm like, man, this brother knows his game. He knows basketball.
Listen. Man. Look, we all watching it. Y'all both bring up great points, man. It's just, I'm just happy that it's happening for us. You know what I mean? Look, the New York Knicks fans deserve this.
Yes.
We deserve it. We've been through a whole lot. And we stay loyal to our team. Unlike my guy Remy, who went over to Brooklyn. But let's check. Let's see what the chat is talking in the comment section as well. So Alawa says, when we last swept Denver, when did we last?
2003. 2003.
2003. Yo, we had a birthday in here today, so shout out to my guy who celebrated his birthday. You'll see the ones in the chat. Ruggs, it is Ruggs, I believe. He says, already appreciate you, big broski. Chat, it's all love. Yeah. So you got Allah Wise throwing a birthday cake in there. Salute, Ruggs. You got Craig McQueen who says, bro, don't worry about Stephen A. Smith. He not with Knicks Nation. He is a traitor.
Absolutely.
We got two more. Allah Wise says, Wiz, my favorite dollar van driver is everywhere. Salute.
I was on the freeway. I was like, I got to get off and just show some love to share, man.
100%, man.
Same here, Shir.
Man.
I appreciate
Click the like. Please click
Hey,
the likes from man share.
I'm ready for my deli, man. I'm getting a little hungry when I think
Oh,
about
we
the
got
deli,
we got
man.
it coming
Start.
tomorrow. Knicks
We
Deli
gotta come
tomorrow.
strong with that. Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Throw those thumbs up in the chat. Throw those thumbs up for me. And we got P Styles who says Bully Boy Barrett. Can
Oh
we give
yeah.
some love to RJ?
We gotta give
Mm-hmm.
Can
RJ
we give some
some
love to RJ? Because we've
Oh
been
man,
super critical,
he's
but he knows what it is. He notices family. You know what I
yeah.
mean? He knows his
Tough
family
love, tough love.
100%. But just some thoughts on RJ and his game today.
Mm.
And we can start with you,
What a
Wiz.
good
What you think about RJ today?
man. I was really impressed. Now, obviously, my biggest pet peeve with the Knicks overall, even Randall and IQ, was throwing up all the 3-point shots when they're off. So the first half, I think we did like 21 3-point shots. We're like 5 for 21 or something. So I was like, man, these guys got to cut back on the threes because we can always bully ball into the paint. And when they play like that, and especially when they finish and they get fouls, which means you put obviously in foul trouble, and you get an old school 3-point play. That's the game. That's our big strong suit. So let's go to the lane and get into the paint. And Barrett showed us exactly how to do it today. His strength is bully ball. Do what you do best, and let's roll, man. I was really impressed. He played within his game. He didn't make any real knucklehead mistakes, and he just showed us that, man, maybe we've been a little tough on him, and justifiably so. But there is hope, and if he comes around, and our mid three shows that these are some bad bully ball big threes. And even my boy Brunson is a big three, man. No matter how short he is, because you got that body strength and the move, the footwork. We're gonna do some damage, man. They should be really worried about us. Everybody,
That's
including
right.
the Bucks.
That's
Including the
right.
Bucks.
That's right. How about you, G Money?
RJ Barrett, I gotta give him an A, man. Man, big. I call him Big Boy Barrett in this game. Man, get into the hoop, using his strength, his skill, posting up, casting a low block in the pinch post. And RJ Barrett, another thing, did you also notice he didn't take any threes in the second half? He was doing everything in the paint, boom, boom, boom.
Wow.
So he was doing everything in the paint, though. And he was also playing some good defense, too, though. So RJ Barrett, I got to give him an A. He was absolutely brilliant.
Man, we're gonna hit the chat up real quick. Allah Wise says, Wiz, my church Av bro. So more shout outs to you, Wiz. Fred says, Knicks Nation, stand up. What's up, Fred?
yeah.
Welcome.
So, Fred,
And Allah Wise also says Mitch made his free throws.
he did. Made both of his freebies. Yep.
Man, yes.
Bro,
Yes.
look, I don't know. It was a great all-around team victory. That locker room got to feel phenomenal right now. It's got to feel phenomenal right now.
89% from free throw for the Knicks. I mean, 26 of what, 28? Or 25, 28, right? And we had like offensive rebounding. We were beaten by 9.
Do you need anything else? You good?
And then, of course, I was so proud that, again, I always said our 3-point shooting, if we're staying in the 34 to 40 range,
Okay, we don't have
34 to 40 range in 3-point shots,
Sorry, everybody.
Be strong. Because if we can keep our points in the paint, we're going to mess teams up. So today was everything that I wanted this team to do. It's low turnovers, rebounding, free throw shooting, and keep our 3-pointers under control when we're not hitting it. In the 30, we got to shoot them through to keep them honest. But when we keep it within a certain range, just to keep them honest, we drive inside. Man, I mean, all around great game, man. I love it. And IQ was off. Imagine if IQ was on, we were gonna crush those boys. So we're still show how strong we are, even with one of our 6th man of the year. I'm calling it right now. I'm calling it
All day.
6th man of the year was off. Even though next year, if we have the same lineup, I mean, I gotta say, Josh's gonna be 6th man of the year next year, though, man. Because Josh and him gonna be 1-2 6th man of the year somehow. Because I can't imagine Josh with this kind of playing in a full season. That'd be 6th man of the year the way he's playing, man. Because he's a bad boy.
I believe it. Look, so I'll be remiss in my responsibility if I didn't give a shout out to my guy D's World of Hoops. Okay, if you're on my channel, D's World of Hoops, go check him out. but something that I keep hearing him ring in my head, and he'll probably text it to me if he gets any wind of this chat. Is there anything about this game that makes you think, this is something we got to work on, that brought you some type of concern, or you feel a need to hold some accountability?
Yo, G-Money, you got to go first, man, because I got to think about this one real hard, man.
Sometimes stopping the ball. Sometimes you have trouble stopping the ball sometimes. Because during that second quarter in which the Nuggets pretty much erased that 13-point lead, they were starting to push the pace a little bit, though, and also got into started to get into transition, started to move the ball around the horn, get into the corner three. So we just got to do a better stopping the ball, and also maybe try to do a better job trapping their star players, though.
Okay.
Actually, the only thing that concerned me in this game was the start of the third quarter. I think Denver went like 5 for 6 first 5 minutes.
Okay.
And we went like 1 for 2. It meant they actually got 6 shots off in the first 5 minutes or so, and we got 2 shots off. So we should never. I shouldn't say never. Obviously, gonna get some steals. Obviously, gonna get. You may make turnovers, but you should never have a 6 possession and only get 2 shots off. That should never happen, which means that there's something wrong in why didn't we get a shot off. There are a couple of times where they passed the ball. Believe it or not, they passed the ball one time way too many times.
Yep, they were overpassing.
Exactly. I'm like, the Knicks overpass. I mean, of course, it's not a bad thing to do because they really overpass. But for that moment, I was like, dude, IQ, wide open shot, take a shot. Even Brunson had a wide open shot. I was like, take the shot, man. But that's the only thing I worry about is when we have multiple possessions and don't get a good shot in the basket. We get blocked, turnover, or steal. And that's something that can cause the team to go on like I said, like a 10-0 run against us, and that could shut us down some. But or maybe not. Maybe this thing is we like a little adversity. It looks like this team likes some adversity, like a little challenge, and go, okay, let's wind up, guys. And that's what a sign of a really good team is when you get slapped down and you get back up and then come back harder. So who knows? That's just how we got to operate. We got to feel a little pressure. So it was beautiful. Other than that, it's tough to pick any flaws in this game, man. This game is pretty smooth.
Good points. So I'm going to go to the chat. I'm going to read this for the chat real quick. But in the meantime, it's a little bit of a background noise with you, G-Money. So I'm going to just put you on mute. Yep. Let's see what the chat is talking. So we got Ruggs who says Brunson getting RJ footwork right. That's a great point. Let's see. P Style says, listen, we dangerous this season. Our mid three and our defense. Knicks stand up. We got P Styles who also says, just don't depend on the 3-point shot.
I agree.
Yeah. I think both. I think Wiz may have pointed that out as well. Or G Money had said, RJ Barrett didn't take a 3.
Yeah, it was me. Yeah. He didn't take a 3 in the second half. Yeah.
That is a great point. I think that's something that I noticed about this game as well. We weren't chucking it up from behind the 3-point line. We had a lot of variety in our offensive attack. And something that I love about just this Knicks team this season has been our ability to go on runs.
It's true.
So we piece together 11-0, 7-3. We go on runs, and it stems from the defense first. And it stems from the defense first, but then it affects the rest of the game. And before you know it, if we're down by 10 or we're down by like 13, we're tied up. You know what I mean? So that's the piece that I love. Like, there is no quit. There is no quit in this team.
Agreed.
There's no quit. And look, they don't want to face us. The word on the street is already Cleveland don't want no smoke.
Agreed.
Everybody is already saying if the Knicks, Cleveland don't want no smoke with us, they're hoping that they face the Nets. And I don't know if they want smoke with the Nets either. The Nets are starting to figure themselves out.
They are long too. The Nets are long. Bridges, Cam Johnson, Vinny Smith. They're also fast. They're more faster now with Bridges, Cam Johnson, Vinny Smith. You also have Claxton who can guard the interior. Yeah, and also Seth Curry, Joe Harris that can shoot, that can put the ball on the floor sometimes. They are scary. Cam Thomas, who I know he's kind of been up and downs of late, but Cam Thomas is a bucket getter. So, yeah, that's a
They
team
did,
just too.
they're doing all right over there. They're doing all right.
I
So
actually would argue the point that they may be a better overall team without KD and Kyrie, and that's shocking to hear. Two top 75 players of all time, guaranteed Hall of Famer, All Stars, superstars, could possibly be considered a detriment to a team in the sense that the team is better without them than with them,
man,
and
I
that's
don't know.
scary, right? That's wild, right?
I don't know how they messed up that opportunity, man. But what I will say is Mikal Bridges. I've been surprised, and I don't want to make this a Knicks. We're gonna pivot back to the Nets. I mean, we're gonna pivot back to the Knicks. I don't want to make this a Nets show, but I like what I've seen from Bridges. He has these moments where he jumps off the screen.
Yep.
And anytime I say somebody jumps off the screen, that means they have that ability to be a superstar. Like sometimes you watch them and be like, "Yo, who is that?" You know, so. They're doing all right over there, but I thought it would be a walk in the park, and whatever the next free agency period comes, Mikal Bridges will walk across the bridge and come to us. But they may be formidable. He may feel as if he has his own team over there across the bridge. So I'm gonna read these last few comments, and then I'm gonna let y'all go. You know, I just wanted to hop on here and talk about these Knicks. Alawa says once we start settling, they cut into the lead, then took it. You know, once we started settling, they cut into the lead and took it. Facts. P Style says runs bodes well in the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Everything that we're doing, everything that we're doing, everything about our team, everything about our coach, and give it to Tibbs, man. There's not many games that we've won or lost where you felt as if he's been outcoached this season.
That's true.
Last season, it was a lot of them, which all of the calls for his job was justified. You know, I could see it, but it's a couple of them. I mean, and there probably are a handful, this season, but it's almost like he improved as well.
He did.
Now, I don't know if it's the coaching staff who's contributing or whatever have you, but I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It just feels different.
He's been more open-minded. Also, Tibbs, I love about Tibbs this year. He's always been a good coach. He's always been a good coach, but he's been more flexible this year. I felt last year. Look, there's reasons why we struggled last year. Get a Kemba, Fournier were kind of stupid. The rotations were bad. Tibbs didn't hold players accountable last year. This year's been much different, though. The front office got the right players. Tibbs is using those players, and he's making proper adjustments. And even if you notice in this game, you saw he left RJ Barrett in the fourth quarter. There was a span RJ was not playing in the fourth quarter, though. Now you see him leaving in the fourth, and RJ shined. So Tibbs has done a very good job. And you see Tibbs is also preaching ball movement and player movement. That's why this Knicks team has been really astounding.
Yeah. One thing I really love that he has the respect of the players in the locker room. When you sit in RJ Barrett for the fourth and you let Josh play, you'll get that reputation that I want to win. This is about who can help me win and lock up this game. At the end of the game, we all get the W. So if he doesn't have that emotional connection where it's just like, oh, I'm not going to pull you. No, I'm going to pull you. He's going to get in and you're going to sit there and you're going to cheer for him. You know what I mean? So that's one thing that I love about our team. And I'm telling you guys, before every game, I go listen to some of the commentators. I'll go after and I'll try to find Denver's commentating team and try to see what their post-game comments were as well. But to a team, everybody respects Tom Thibodeau. If you listen to the opposing coaches, whether it was Chauncey Billups the other night, whether it was the coach in LA,
Darvin Ham.
Yeah, Darvin Ham. Listen, the way they talk about Tibbs, it was just like, well, that's to be expected from a Tibbs team, and he's a great coach, and this, that. I'm like, we're the only ones, like, should we? Am I down with Tibbs? Do we need to get somebody in here and take us to another level? Everybody else is like, yo, we wish we had him, and all of the complaints about too many minutes or not enough minutes or whatever have you. You're going to start seeing teams, the more we win, teams are going to try to replicate what it is that we're doing because obviously it's a copycat league, so it's a lot to be said about that. So
that's true.
Let me see. So we got We got Allah Wise who says, do you think we can catch Cleveland?
I mean, we can, but I don't think we will. Can we? Sure, we can. The games have to be played. Do I think we will? I doubt it. Cats don't need a schedule.
How about you, Wiz?
I mean, 2.5 games back. Head-to-head competition, right, against them, right? 2 more games.
Well, we have one more game behind Cleveland. We have one more game against Cleveland. Yeah,
against
one
them,
more.
right? Oh, and the current, what is it? 2-1 Cleveland.
No, 2-1 New York.
So winning that one game, we have a tiebreaker. So we don't need to tie them. If we can go 7-2, I'm sorry, 7-3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they have to go almost 500. I see us going 8-2. We can do 8-2. It's possible.
It's
8-2
possible.
means that there is very possible and likely. I think we go 8-2, which means that 2.5 game is within reach. I don't think it's not within reach. Actually, I'm looking at the standings right now, and are we 2 games back in the last column? If we are, then it's under our control. The same thing only 2 more games. The Cleveland Cavaliers we're 2 games back, so it's in our control to stay 2 games, to only have 2 more losses, and for them to lose 4 more games, it's right there, which means that the tiebreaker will be ours. Beat them, only lose 2 more games. We can tie them, which means we got the tiebreaker head to head. I actually see it. I see it as likely, not just possible. Likely, not even probable, likely. So yeah, I'm gonna say yes. Otherwise, that Church Avenue ball, get some Jamaican food from there. I'm in LA, man, so get some real Jamaican food from me in Church Avenue. And send some to me, man. But yeah, man, I love it. Otherwise, I say let's do this.
All right. Listen, I want to thank y'all for being with me today. Taking the time out to hop on. Our Knicks got a phenomenal win. Fred ends this show with saying a big win for the Knicks. Truly is. Enjoy all of the content creators as we cover different angles on it. Join me tomorrow for Knicks Deli, where I break it down and talk about who's on the menu at Knicks Deli tomorrow. And just keep this in mind. Same thing applies to life that applies to our team. If there is no struggle, there is no progress. And we're here. And we got now, damn it. We don't got next. We got now. All right. Salute to the panel. Salute to the chat. Enjoy the rest of y'all day, and we out. Peace.
You too. Stay safe. Click the likes for my man Share, please.
Victory. I just got another victory. Opposition say they sick of me. We turn their future to history. They try to hit me, they missing me.